Shalom Aleichem once again. Shalom.
Alaikum salam.
And we're greeting those on YouTube with that peaceful greetings, Hebrew, Shalom. And we're going to invite our friends over on Facebook to join us. The same greeting. So let's go to Facebook and invite our friends over on Facebook. And we're also on Facebook now with Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom to our friends on Facebook.
Shalom.
In fact, Boca Shalom.
Boca Shalom.
Most of our people say Lala Shalom. Now, the reason why we say Boca, of course, is Hebrew for morning. And we're saying Boca Shalom because we're now at sundown. This is now the first day of the fourth month.
Yeah.
Earlier today, and I say today, I'm speaking on both worlds, speaking to both worlds. The first world is our world, the celestial world, the first one that was in existence. And in our world, that's being governed by the sun of time, the celestial solar time. Again, this is the first day of the fourth month of our solar calendar in the year 6026. That's solar, Hebrew. That's our world because now it's sundown. And it's also the morning, the evening and the morning at the same time. The evening and the morning was the first day of the fourth month of our celestial solar Hebrew calendar. A moment ago, I said earlier today, and I'm speaking of the other world that we created. And that would be the world of the Gentiles and of Cain and Satan. The Gentiles, the devils, their world that's coming to an end. Their world is coming to an end. This is the end of their world. All the signs of heaven and natural disasters and all the prophecy that's being fulfilled today in the book of Revelation, the book called Revelation. We didn't call it that. And also, especially the book that's called Matthew in chapter 24. That's a very powerful chapter of prophecy, Matthew chapter 24. We're going to ask you in a moment to grab your Bible, your King James Version, but first we get the time straight. I said earlier today, which is known by their calendar as Thursday. Thursday, June the 8th is their day. Until a few more hours, looked like about 3 hours or so, less than 3 hours more. Their day starts at midnight in the dark. Midnight. Then they'll be going over to June 9th. And the year 2023. And that is for the sake of the recording. So again, this is the first day of the fourth month of our calendar, not to be confused with April the 1st. We're not fooling you tonight or this morning. This is not April 1st. It's the first day of the fourth month of our calendar. 6026 is also the evening at night of the Gregorian calendar, June 8th, 2023. This is part 2 of what we started earlier, a few hours ago, that we were postponed for a while because my father, my aunt, came across this entire southern part of Florida. That's the state that we're in right now, Florida. We're situated in Miami of Florida, the very same city where he arrived to and started teaching and waking up his people, his children, his grandchildren in 1979. He arrived as Moses Israel. I will always take a moment to testify of my aunt. I will always manifest him and testify of him. I will also and always honor him as God, the mighty God, my God. And I'm going to show you in a moment that he made that clear in all of his books. But this is the city where he came to in 1979, Miami of Florida, and he changed not. He did not tell anyone to leave this city as he was sojourning in another state during the year 1990. We just came from that state, that's known as Louisiana, this past weekend, city called New Orleans. That was our last live stream telecast. And during that telecast, I made a mention that I would not be seen again for a long time. And you should be thanking God or whatever you call him that I'm not in charge. Because had it been up to me, you would not see me for a long time. I do not desire to come on any social media live stream or recording. I'm not enthused with any television cameras or any movie production cameras. I'm not egotistical, and neither am I conceited to be seen by the world as they prophesied I'll be seen by the world. In order to see me, you must come to where I am. In order to learn, you must come to where I am by teaching private. But there comes a time from time to time that my Ab, who is in charge, will command me to do what I'm doing now, and to make a special announcement. Although you don't need a special announcement to know that this world is coming to an end, even as the smoke continues to head south from Canada on the east coast of the United States and work its way on down now to Pharaoh's house. Pharaoh's house. It's called the White House. Washington District of Columbia that we visited last year of their calendar in September. A few moments ago, I heard a news report that says that city called Philadelphia, the city near Washington District of Columbia, New Jersey, Virginia, New York, that's called Philadelphia, and Pennsylvania, which happens to be the very same state that my spent a lot of years in prison, in the Louisburg Penitentiary prison in Pennsylvania. And there's a rumor going around, and if it's a lie, the news media told it, that the city that's called Philadelphia, the brother of love, the brotherly love, that I also happened to visit a year ago this month. Coincidence. I visited Philadelphia a year ago this month, June, around the same time. And I saw a little liberty in that city, Liberty Bell. But I left something behind that was to be ignited this month. It's called Smoke in My Nose, to fulfill Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 5. Stand by thyself, for I am holier than thou. We made that clear this past weekend in New Orleans, where my father, Bob, was taken into custody on November 7th, 1990. And I prophesied then, and I was disrupted with anger as I abruptly ended that telestudy, that teleconference video, and prophesied that smoke would be coming in my nose. Smoke is all in the nose. You know, see, the mistake you make is you think my nose is on my face. My nose is in the United States of what they call North America. It's also known biblically as Sodom and Egypt, spiritually as Sodom and Egypt, also known historically as Babylon, also known as the whore in Revelation, the great whore, the harlot, America, a fornicator that causes all countries of the world to fornicate after her whoredom, her evilness, and her wickedness. I understand Pharaoh also today is sending more firefighters to Canada Canada. Can you? Can you send enough? Anyway, as I was saying, the city called Philadelphia, I heard a few moments ago, has the worst air pollution in the world right now. It's in the tabloids. You can go look for yourself. Go on YouTube. We're on YouTube now. You can wait until we don't cut us off to see it though. You can wait until we're done. We're not going to take up too much of your Thursday night. But Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is now being deemed as the worst city of air pollution on the planet right now. And if you know anyone in Philadelphia, if you have relatives or a relative that you may not know, relatively, that means relatively. Relatively means you can call any telephone number of any emergency response team, like dollar fire department or police department, any public service department right now in Philadelphia, and ask them how is the air quality there. Just tell them, you're curious to know because someone with asthma, with ass, with an asthma, someone with asthma, a mom with an ass that lives in Philadelphia, the whores, asthma. And you want to know what air quality is? They should. I doubt it, but they should tell you the truth. Right now, we're experiencing a lot of air pollution from smoke. There's smoke in my nose. And stand by thyself. Don't come near me. Praise Yod.
Praise God.
As I was saying a moment ago, my Ab is God. He is God, the mighty God. The mighty God, as prophesied. He came through his gateway on Sunday, October 27th, 1935, according to their calendar. Sunday, October 27th, 1935. And that would also be the 15th day of the 8th month of our calendar, year 5938. 5938 is when he came through his gateway and landed, came out, walked around for 72 years before he ascended and went back up on selling his throne. And I'm going to show you a small clip that he recorded. Well, he didn't record it, but it was recorded during an interview in 1986 in our temple at the time, known as International Headquarters, the Temple of Love in Miami, Florida. I'm going to show you a small segment of that interview that's subjected to what I'm about to announce to this planet. And then 19 years later, I came through my gateway. And that would be the 15th day of the 7th month of our calendar, 5957. The 15th day of the 7th month, also known biblically and lawfully according to the Hebrew law as a Feast of Tabernacles, according to Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 34. I'm being told to reiterate all of this. I'm not saying this on my own. I really do not want to. Personally, I don't want to. But my father's commanded me to do so, so I would love to. Once he said, then I would love to do it. To have the opportunity. You should be thanking and loving him too for giving you the opportunity to be here with me today to hear what I'm saying. A lot of people are dead. I mean, that's the second death. They're dead. They died. Even those that were around him back in the days. Most of those are dead physically. The second death of Revelation 21:8. Chapter 21, verse 8. The second death. They did not have the opportunity to hear me say these words tonight, during this time. In fact, many prophets desired to see these days that you see. Many of those that they call prophets of the Bible desired to see this day, to see me again during the last days at this time, to return as it was promised I would. And that's also recorded. You can read it several places. One in particular is in a book called the Acts, chapter 1, and verse 11. The same one. I'm the same. As well as Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8, But there are a lot of servants that were around back in the days, Hebrew, that saw my father and myself, and they desired to see these days, and they were told, "You cannot see it. You were not obedient. You were disobedient. You were rude. You were evil and wicked. So we're going to take you out. You had your chance. And now we're giving those who return back with me your chance. In fact, your chance is greater than their chance because your chance will give you an opportunity to be with me forever. All you have to do is what we call in Hebrew, aman. Aman. That's Aleph, Mem, Nun, Sophie, aman. And that means believe in English. All you have to do is believe. And that substantiates John chapter 3 and verse 16. That whosoever believe in me will not perish. But my Father promised you everlasting life. All you have to do is believe. It sounds a little easy, but it's not as easy as it may sound because there are plenty who are watching me right now and they do not believe. Why? Because they thought they knew me. They still do. They think they know me. But I will assure you that they do not know me. My father wrote a book, a Hebrew book, years ago. Now, speaking of books, take out your Bible. We're going to get started. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Take out your King James Version Holy Bible and follow us on a couple of scriptures that we may share, as well as your strong concordance and a dictionary in case you are lost with a word that you don't know the meaning, because we may not have that on our agenda to fit into our schedule of time. We're going to, if you do not have one, we're going to share what we have here with us, with you. And you look over my head and back of the screen, you'll see a giant, what they call smart TV, 86 inches. That should be enough for you to see. We're going to share at least 1 inch with you. Out of 86 inches, you should at least have an inch. And as you also see an artifacts on that screen, but the artists of Europe paint it. And they put online on the internet. It's supposed to be a painting of who they call Micah. Micah the Morasite, according to the 33rd book of the King James Version Bible. Micah the Morasite. And that's not a bad replica in a painting. At least they got the skin color perfect. Bronze in skin complexion with a long beard wearing purple. Now, when you study Micah or the Bible, you have to do some real hard studying to discover what I'm about to share and reveal to some. But when you study Micah and you compare his 7 chapters with the 24 chapters, the 25 chapters, 27 chapters of Matthew, especially chapter 24, the first 24 chapters of Matthew, and you study Micah 7 chapters, then you will discover that Micah is also the Christ. And that is a fact. That is a biblical, a biological, a prophetical, and a celestial fact. That Micah is the Christ of Yod, Hey, Wav, Hey, that you know as the Tetragrammaton. And that's substantiated and recorded in the book called Revelation, the last one in the back of the Bible. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 10. You can read that. See, Yod, Hey, Wav, Hey have his own Christ. And a lot of nations have their own Christ. But my people and mine angels who are with me, we don't serve other nations' Christ. We have our own Christ. That's the Christ again of Yod, Hey, Wav, Hey. In fact, read that. Go to Revelation chapter 12 so they can see I'm not making this up. That'll be our first scripture for this announcement. Meanwhile, I'm going to also ask you to take out something to write with because you're going to do a little small writing exercise. It's called night school. I know that most schools in this country has already closed for the summer. So I'm not into the children now. I'm not into kids and the children. I'm into the adults. This is adult school, adult night school that you must now attend for a few moments and get your GED. You must get your GED tonight. That's your good everlasting document in divinity. Your great everlasting divinity document, your good education document, documented. Read Revelation chapter 12 and first verse 9.
Revelation 12:9 quote,
Mm-hmm.
and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil.
Now we're going to pause here for a moment and bring that to your attention. That was already fulfilled. That was fulfilled on January 20th, 2021. That's that old serpent. Okay. That's the old serpent was cast out, not the devil, not yet, not Satan and the devil. See, this was handwritten in codex. It became cryptic at that time. It's also known as a prophetical cryptogram. It's cryptic. So it being sealed as cryptic, it can only be loosed by the one to explain it when that time comes for it to be fulfilled. Now, the old serpent is older than the devil. The old serpent is older than the devil and Satan. You will not find Satan in the book called Genesis. He's not there. You will not even find the devil in the book called Genesis, but you will find the old serpent in Genesis. So the old serpent in his administration was cast out on January 20th, 2021, and he thought at the time that there was a rig in the voting. But that was done so that Genesis chapter 49 would be fulfilled to bring in Joseph, Reuben and Joseph, and all of those of the den. All those of the den. That's twice. That's do. That's by den. The by, which is bi twice, and the den. Bring all of those out the den, to the 12 sons of Jacob. Bring them out of the den twice, by den. So that's Joseph and Reuben. Reubenet. Bring him out. Junior says twice, too. JR, Junior. So that's the by den. So we put him in. And now here comes the devil and Satan running behind the old serpent. Same party. Republican. He's a publican. So I brought them back too. I brought them back that were with me over 2,000 years ago, the publicans. And among those is the devil and Satan. Two, that's by. He's all in one. Known as DE, and the VIL, and Satan is. Satan is. DeSantis. Satan is here. Two. Ronald, that follows Donald. The old serpent. Donald and the devil and Satan, Ronald. Following prophecy to the letter. And that is not a coincidence. It just so happens that he's in the state of Florida, where I am. He's a governor of the state of Florida. And he's also a publican that I brought back with me during a particular time of prophecy that he would be governor, just as he was in Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar. Same one, the younger one of the two. In his 40s, with the number value of Mem in the 40s. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's following prophecy.
Mhm.
Has to be here with Michael. That's coming from verse 7. They all have to be here with Michael today. Because there's a war in heaven. He's publican, so I brought him back with me. Now he's a republican. It's called republican, reappeared. So now you know. That's part of the revelation of that verse. That's not all of it.
Mm.
I can write a book on it, just like I wrote a book. I'm going to show. I write books. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I authored most of the books that you read in the Bible, but you don't know that. That's not my subject. I'm not going to reveal those secrets. There's a lot of secrets I have. I have a lot of secrets. My father, you go hear him say in 1986, he told him I had a lot of secrets. I was too early revealing the secrets. So they crucified that body over 2,023 years ago. Too many secrets that he taught me that I was not supposed to say or was supposed to reveal. So now that old serpent died. The what? Read it over again so now that you know.
And the great dragon was cast out.
He's great. You don't hear this devil saying, let's make America great again. It's the serpent who said, let's make America great again. Was cast out. And who?
That old serpent,
Mm-hmm.
called the devil
Right.
and Satan.
Right. All together. That's not one person now. I just told you. Pay attention. What?
Which deceiveth the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
It's called administration. Now read verse 10, because at the same time that they were cast out, someone else has to be here at the end when it's over. Read verse 10.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven,
Mm-hmm.
now is come salvation and strength.
Now is come salvation and strength as I bring about all these plagues on this planet as often as I will. Now I'm jumping over to Revelation chapter 11, verse 6. I am plaguing this planet. And as you thought there was time to put up the masks in the northeastern states, all over the planet, people are still wearing masks. Just when you thought it was time to put up your masks from what you call the COVID-19, you still calling it COVID-19 in 2023. Here you are finding yourself wearing a mask again to try and escape the smoke that's coming from the spaceships, our celestial crafts. How you think the fire started in Canada? It's called lightning. I'm snitching on my angels and the spacecrafts of the Celestial Lodge tonight. Those fires were started by celestial spacecrafts that are being piloted by celestial beings that are known in the Bible as angels. And known to NORAD, since NORAD is connected with the United States, that they call NORAD, North American Space Agents and Department that monitor UFOs. That we thought that since you are with your ally of your two nations together, just cross the Niagara Falls and you're right there, then we thought we'd give you something to work hard at, trying to put out these fires that were ignited by laser beams that you thought were lightning of the UFOs, spaceships. That's what did it. There was no arson. No, there's no arsonist. It'd be ludicrous for a Canadian to burn up their own country, kill themselves, must be suicidal. No, this is part of prophecy. I can show you that as the smoke tormented goes up, the sun turned, the sun recovered darkness, the sun would not give us light, turn red. It's all in prophecy. And this is just the beginning of sorrows. This is just the beginning. Some hadn't even been officially recorded yet. No, some had not been welcomed yet on this planet, especially in the United States, and their almanac. Summer starts June 21st, according to the almanac. So you have a few more days to go. And wow, let me tell you, you have some heat coming. I have to fulfill Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. It's got to be fulfilled. It's recorded. Got to bring it to pass. Get ready, Yehuda. Hydrate yourself. Grab your water bottles and fill them. You could try your air conditioners, but the grids are going to blow.
Mm.
I suggest you get generators, plenty of fuel to go with those generators to keep those air conditioners burning. Because it's going to get hot. Hot, hot, hot. What else it says in verse 10, Revelation chapter 12?
And the kingdom of our God.
Wait now. Start over again because this is sounding too good. Say that again.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven.
Salvation has come.
Yeah.
I'm not reading it. I just know it's there. Even if it is in English, originally written and hidden in Hebraic. It was not uttered in Hebrew. It was written in Hebraic to be uttered in English today, that you'll be understanding the language and the idiom that I'm speaking. Because now has come salvation for my people, and vengeance is mine. Vengeance is mine. You killed millions of my people, murdered them during slavery, and now you're being judged. Now has come salvation. And what else it says?
And strength.
And strength. You must stay strong, Judah. Kazak ve'imats. Kazak ve'imats. You must kazak ve'imats. Be strong and courageous in Hebrew. And what else?
And the kingdom of our God.
Whose God?
Our God.
The kingdom of our God, not God. See, every nation has gods of their own. According to 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 29. They have gods of their own. They made a God of their own. All nations, every nation made a God of their own. But there's one God who's God of all of them. God of all gods, one God of all other gods. That's Deuteronomy 10:17. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 17, make a note. Our God is the God of all gods. It also says in 1 Corinthians chapter 8 that there's God many and Lord's many, God's many. Huh? But to us, there's one God, the Father, and one Christ, one Lord, his Son.
Mm-hmm.
So now has come salvation and our God. What else? Our God?
And the power of his Christ.
Now we have our God and the power of his Christ. That means all the other gods on this planet, they also have a Christ. But that Christ do not have flesh and bones as you see me have. Their Christ is made out of paintings and statues and wood and stone and jewelry that they wear around their neck out of metal. That's what their gods are made out of. And photographs. They're made also in Hollywood. They're called movie stars. That's their Christ. That's who their Christ are. But we have a true and living being who is the Christ of the God of the Hebrews. His Christ. That is the one who can save. All the other Christs cannot save. They cannot save you. They cannot save you. They cannot heal you. They cannot hear you. They cannot see you. They don't even know you. But there's one Christ who can do all of that. The true Christ. In fact, that true Christ come out of the tribe called Judah, Yehuda. He sprang out of Yehuda. So wherever Yehuda is, also known as the Negro slaves, formerly, still being called Negro slaves, also known as African Americans, wherever the majority of the African Americans are on this planet today, that were taken in bondage in 1555 during the 16th century, wherever they are, and whatever country that they may be, under whatever government de facto that may be, that is where you find the Christ of the God of the Hebrews, his Christ, sprang out of Judah. More than likely, in a city in the south of that country, a state that's shaped like Kaf Sophie, the final Kaf. A state that's shaped like Kaf Sophie, the final Kaf, shaped just like Kaf Sophie, the state known as Florida. Look at that. Check it out on the map. And then study the final Kaf. In fact, could you go to it? That's all the verse. That's it.
We have a little more.
What's a little more?
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
Now that's settled. go to your Hebrew chart as I also at the same time show you a book that my father wrote in 1993. It was published. This is called An Introduction to Hebrew, the Language of God. And in this book, there are Hebrew characters that he put in this book. About 23, 22, 5 finals. They start on page 5. I read the thesis to the bottom of his photo image in part 1. This is part 2, by the way. This is the completion of what we started earlier today. This is part 2 of me, L, and CH is king. So I'm going to explain that now in this part because it'll be our final part of a 2-part series. Again, I read the thesis to the bottom. He says in here, just as a reiteration, he's the architect of the universe. But he also placed on page 3 of this book, he placed a couple of letter and pronunciations and silent letters. It's called a pronunciation guide. Pronunciation guide. Do you have the alphabets up there? Alphabets? Not alphabets. Hebrew alphabets. Mm-hmm. Alphabets. What do you have? You see a final cough?
Can't.
Shaped like Florida?
Shaped like Florida.
Panhandle to the top?
Can't.
That's the final cough. See, that's part of my name. That's the second. If you look over my head, so you see my name, part of my name on my head. Yod Kaf Shin Mem Mem Sophie. Notice that the first character here, over here. Okay. Yeah, see here. See, we on the camera's reversed. Mm-hmm. So here you have Yod. Mm-hmm. Now the second character is Kaf. See, Kaf is here speaking to you. And Kaf is also final. These are the final days. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking for the Christ, see, this is where you're right. Now take out something to write with. Write on and spell Christ as you know it in English. The English is idiom. Christ. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now the first 2 letters are what?
CH.
CH. Okay. So on page 3 of this book, you have, I'm going to show you, you have Keth. It's right in the middle. I'm going to point to it. Keth, right here. Keth. Mm-hmm. See, Keth. Some say Keth. They false Jews. Keth, but Keth with TH. Mm-hmm. ETH. Just the ETH. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of words in the Bible that ends with ETH for a reason. Like, for example, he maketh me to lie down. Why not make? He maketh me, not M-A-K-E. He M-A-K-E-T-H me to lie down. Why? Because Keth would be at the end to fulfill prophecy, the ETH. Keth. As well as Kaf. Now, Kaf is here too. If you look to the bottom, do you see right here? See, Kaf is right here. CH2. The C is a Bach. Mm-hmm. Kaf. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at the chart, look at the chart. You see Kaf there? Yeah. See, there's 2. There's one like this without the dot. Then there's one with the dot. See? The circle, that's the one of the Central Lodge. This one is of the Central Lodge. This is just of Judah or Hebrew, the Israelites. Mm. That's the difference. See, the circle means the sun. That means the sun name will begin with and have coffee in it. The circle, like the ship. That's called. Now, another thing I will share with you with the CH. See, CH is at the beginning of Christ. You're left with the RIST. All right? Now, if you put a W in front of that RIST, then you have wrist. That means that Christ will have a magnificently large wrist and a hand to prove it. Let me give you an idea of the hand size. See now, you see this book? This is an ordinary book to you, but no ordinary Christ will have a hand this size. See, my hand is actually, my fingers are off this book.
Mm-hmm.
You see the size of that hand? It's my right hand. That's not ordinary. See, if you study science and you go to these scientists of NASA and NORAD and all these scientists that study what they call the aliens from another world, they're known to have big hands.
Mm-hmm.
Big hands. That means that they're not human. I'm not human. I'm a celestial being.
Mm-hmm.
All of my angels that are with me are also celestial beings.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're not human? No, well, let me give an example why we're not human. You have HUMAN, humanity. Yeah. We look. I'm not going to teach them that on live stream, but you have to look up humanity and what else did I share with you? Habitat, habitual, habitually, habitat, habitation, and the B and the CH.
The CH, right.
This CH, the devils came along and they abused the CH. And then they have my people worshiping the CH and becoming part of it, even as a little bit. Even a little bit of it. Do you see Kaf there?
Yeah.
You see Keth, you pointed out? And all there. Go to and show them the difference. We do not want you to be confused between Keth and Hey. Go to Hey.
You showing them Hey.
You show them Hey. Now show them Keth. In fact, you leave the screen. Just type it in so they can see it by itself. Go to the address box, the search box, and type in Keth in Hebrew. CE, like CH, right? CHE, right?
Okay.
And images. And then there's Keth. Now Keth looks a lot like Hey. It's not. The one of the arms of Keth touches the bar, the top bar. That's Keth. Now show him Hey, the difference. When the arm does not touch the top bar, the right arm, it does not touch the top bar. Is that right? That's the right arm?
All right. There you go. We have the Hey up there.
Yeah. That's Hey. Now, if you didn't know that today, all you Hebrew Israelites, this is your natural idiom. This is your language. You must learn your language. You're Hebrew. You're not English. You're not English. You're not Jamaican. You're not Bahamian. You're not Spanish, although you were taken as slaves in Spain, by Spain and Spaniard and Spaniards in Cuba, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Mexico, a few Mexico. All the dark people that speak Spanish, you're of Judah. You're not of Europe. You're not of Spain. Even down in Brazil, I have Judah. Now, I said that to say this, to share this. Each of these letters, and I'm going to let you hear my op say it. Each letter of our idiom and the English idiom is also our idiom. My father gave all nations their own language to confuse the communication gap. To confuse them and give them a communication gap that you cannot understand what one another is saying. That way you will not be able to overpower us all at one time. So he revealed something in 1986. I'm going to let you hear a little segment of that. Go to YouTube. That should still be there. Go to YouTube and let's let them hear. So I'm going to reveal a little bit of the CH and how CH became a suffix on a lot of words that are destroyed by the devil and by people following. Just a few. Then we'll introduce the subject, and then we'll let them go and enjoy their Thursday nights, whatever they want to do. We should be around the 27-minute mark. 27.
Can you persevere? Did you start teaching right here, or just later, or in Miami?
And you can read that for yourself. I don't have to open the book and read it for you. In John chapter 1, it states that in the beginning was the Word was with Yahweh, and the Word was Yahweh. Then it goes down to tell you that the Word would become flesh and dwell among men. I am that flesh, and I'm dwelling among you today. Then it goes on to tell you that I would come to my own people from whom I'm born, and that they would receive me not. Though I'm in the world, though the world is made by me, and I'm in the world, yet the world knows me not. So the world has to come into the knowledge of me. So that for that reason I'm rejected. I was rejected and despised by my own people. That fulfills the scriptures. Totally. I have lived that. Then after I demonstrate my persistence, that I would be rewarded with those who would come into the knowledge and who would be believe and be redeemed. And that's what I'm doing. And of course, then the world will take notice through the work that I do. And I've lived that. I'm living it. All that the word is, from Genesis through Revelations, I'm living it. Because I come in the volume of this book, all 66 of them.
So you're speaking of both the New Testament and the Old Testament?
Yes, and Revelations.
And Revelation. But in the New Testament, you reject the emergence of the Messiah.
No, I am the Messiah that is prophesied.
So,
I am the Messiah of the New Testament.
But the books that talk about Jesus, they're not, are out of date or
That's prophetic. You see, Jesus, the man that is called, Jesus, remember his name is Yahshua.
Yeah.
Yahshua was a disciple of John. John was the man. John was the prophet. The man called Jesus, when he was baptized, baptized had nothing to do with the water. Again, the scriptures are written figuratively, literally, in metaphors, similes, in prose, and in poetry, and full of allegories. So when you read of the man that was called Jesus being baptized and being put under water, then I would have to teach you what baptized means. You'd have to break down the word baptized in all of its letters. See, every word is scientifically composed of letters that are.
Make a note of that. What Ma'ab said at that time. What did he say? Every word is scientifically composed of letters. We're going to go to that in a moment. I want to hear the rest of this. I want you to hear the rest of it. You've been listening to this for years, but now you got to hear this. Every word is scientifically composed of letters. And those letters would be English letters, not the Hebrew. Mm. Hebrew does not have letters. The Hebraic idiom does not consist of letters. Hebrew consists of characters and symbols. Every Hebrew character becomes to life. It comes into life. It's a character. And they're all inside your soul. Each Hebrew character becomes also a soul. They're inside the souls of your mind. Your soul is in your mind. And that's why your soul should be speaking Hebrew today and not English. And why I made an announcement this past weekend that I'm going to create another language among my angels and myself, I'm going to create another language on this planet that only you will be able to understand and comprehend one another. No one other nation would. That will consist of 4 different idioms. And that means I'm going to use letters and characters and symbols to create this language. And only you will be able to understand that, comprehend it like I did before. You comprehend what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Remember, each word is scientifically composed of letters. Let it play on.
Within themselves, every letter is a word. So when you break down the word baptize, you have B, which follows A, and I am A. Alpha. B follows the series of A. And B is also the word BE, which comes into existence as a result of A. So, therefore, John was prophesying about A coming, which is the first in the series. And the second set of the word is APT, meaning apt. Now, to be apt, you have to be, that meant that the man was baptized by John, had to become clever, adroit, sagacious, etc., in the ism of John. That made him an ist. That's why he was called John the Baptist. See, he too he came to be in the knowledge of Yahweh, and he then subsequently became apt in the ism, which is the dogma and the laws of Yahweh. So, since John was the one that was the prophet, then the man that was called Jesus was baptized by him. That made him a student and a disciple of John, not the one. And when he attempted to assume the mantle of the one, he began to teach secrets that were not to be taught until the time of the one to come. He was 2,000 years, well, 1,900 years early of his coming. And when he began to reveal the knowledge of who Satan was, John 8:44, when he began to reveal the knowledge of the Son, the knowledge of whose right to rule it was, he could not afford to be left alive. So for breaking the secret, for teaching the secret that he had learned in secret, he was killed for it. And that's why he was hung in his shorts without any clothes on, because he was initiated in that manner. That's why his collarbone was broken and his head was hung to the side. You see? Because that's a sign that all men who study in secret understand quite well. I'm the only one to make that clear.
Okay. Now that has been reiterated again for so many times, you heard my op say that the one that they called Yahshua or Jesus was a student of John. My father is spiritually and was symbolically known as John, Yohanan. That means I was baptized by him. He's A, my father's A, and I'm B. I'm his student. I am the Christ that the whole planet is waiting for to come. I don't have to prove that. See, if I try and prove that to you that I could not be him, I'll be those who I say would be want to be me. All you have to do is pay attention. My mind and soul speaks for itself. I don't have to prove it. But I'm going to give you an example of what he was saying. In 1992, our last meeting together in Miami, Florida, I went to go see my while he was incarcerated, awaiting trial in Miami-Dade County, the Richard E. Gerstein building, the courthouse and trial. During that meeting, the last thing he told me to do as his student, as his Christ, is to write a book, study my name, and whatever I study of my name, then I will discover how my name is connected to his ineffable name, and then I will know how I am connected to him. And as a result of what I find during my studies, I am to write a book. And I did. I followed and obeyed his commandment. And it took me a few days to write a book, only a few days. Day and night I was writing on that old type of IBM computers back in the days, 1992. I used the state of Florida's machinery and materials to do that. Why? Because at the time, I was employed by the state of Florida as a state investigator, judicial. That's how I was able to go in with my badge at any jail facility in this country. I even went out of the country and showed my badge to get records on major crimes that I was investigating of the state of Florida, against the state of Florida. So all I did was show my gold shield, and I went in that jail. I put his name down as he was known to them by as Yahweh ben Yahweh with a jail number and everything. And we sat face to face, body contact, in an interview room that's made for clients and attorneys. And the last thing he told me to do was study my name and write a book on my name. I did just that. I sent that results in. I titled the book Mika that I wrote. Mika. I discovered I was Mika. He didn't just name me Mika. I discovered that I am Mika. I thought he was naming me Mika. No, he was calling me Mika. He called me Mika in 1979 when I first saw him face to face in that community center in Brownfield, Miami-Dade County, Florida. Mika, he called me in front of the whole congregation. So you are Mika. Let's write your name down, Mika. Your name means who is like Yahweh. So I wrote Mika on the cover of that script, mailed it into the Peace Foundation as he instructed me to do so. And the Peace Foundation sent it to him, I guess through his attorney. And my father, read the book, edited the book, corrected a few typos that I made error. Sent the book back to the Peace Foundation to go to the publisher and the printer. And about a week or so later, the Peace Foundation sent me a hard copy of the book and a soft copy of the book. And when I got the book in the mail and opened it up and looked at the cover of the book, this is what was on the cover of the book. I bear witness of the Son, Yahweh. That is the name. This is volume 2. Why volume 2? Because the Peace Foundation, for some strange reason, took the original book out of circulation. Why? Because I was revealing secrets. I was too early. They thought I was wanting to take over the mantle of the one. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Peace Foundation in 1992, they thought that I was taking over the mantle of the one who they thought was the Son. So they crucified me for that again. But they crucified me by their will. Especially after I sent them a audio cassette recording and told them who I am in the recording. But they couldn't handle that. They could, do you hear what I'm saying? Can you imagine? My father wrote in their face who I am. He's the I here. He is the I here. He is the I. One, A. He is A. And they knew he's A. In 1986, they heard him say he's A. I'm B. Beth Nusofi, the Son. B. He told them in their face in the published book that he bear witness of the Son, Yahweh, and they thought I would try to take over the mantle of the Son. So he took my book out of circulation, and they started deceiving my people and making them think that they are the ones.
Mm-hmm.
Taking tithes from them and offerings, taking all their monies, threatening them to send in your tithes. You're supposed to be sending us at least 10% of your paycheck, like Yahweh ben Yahweh said you should be doing, so that they can continue to pay their bills, their mansions and their limousines and their airfares to travel, etc., 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 robbing my people, according to Malachi chapter 3 and verses 7 and 8. Will a man rob God? Robbing my people. And they are doing it to this very day. Having my people believing that if they send them a package, they could join them at a feast and continue to watch videos of the 1980s of my father, on a podium, teaching some things that they've they can mimic him saying. They hear so much until they can mimic every word he's about to say, like a script in a movie. So years later, a few years ago, I came up with volume 2. This is volume 2. Reiterated. I mean, nothing changed except for a few updates. This book is available. When it first came out a couple years ago, I made it available for you to send in a donation. The book is not for sale. You cannot buy me. You cannot give me money. I won't take your money. I'm not for sale, and neither is the word. You sold yourselves for naught. You shall be redeemed without money, according to Isaiah chapter 52, verse 3. So today, for the first time in the history of this world, we now have volume 3. This is volume 3. Volume 3. I bear witness of the Son, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. I change not. Part 3. And this book is priceless. That's why I cannot sell it. This book has several pages of color photos. Several pages. And of course, I'm not the producer of the book. My Ab is the producer of the book. And he's also the publisher. Because you're not a nigger. This book has several colors, several pages. It's priceless. You need to read this book. It takes you through the legacy, the lifetime of the Son, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. I even have in the book where the Son came out of the womb and how he grew up in a particular suburb in Alapata. This is the same book of 39 chapters that I read in October of last year during the Feast of Tabernacles. The same one. I changed not. I changed not. That's the temple. I'm standing in front of the temple with a photo image of my Ab that we don't change. The same yesterday, today, and forever. The same Moses Israel. The same Moses Israel, Jeremiah 15:16, the same one, the same two, A and B. And nobody on this planet can write a book like this. Nobody. That means what? The somebody who put it in here to write it is the only one who can do it. What he did was use my body to write it. Why? Because I don't know how to write a book. And this is proof. This is proof. When you read this book from cover to cover, this is proof that the spirit of my Ab is dwelling in me, in this body. The spirit of the Lord Yahweh is upon me, even to preach to those who are captive and to let the prisoners free. I have all 7 spirits of my Father in this body. Isaiah chapter 11. All 7 spirits. And the first one is the fear of my Father. That's the first spirit, how I fear him. He is the only being in existence that I fear. Why else you thought it would be in the last days I would stand up for the children of my people? I'm standing up against Satan. Why you thought he said just now in that video that you heard again that I'll be revealing who Satan is. I just revealed in your face who Satan is. You thought he was in California, as I visited last year. That's just where the seat is. That's where the seat of Satan is. I revealed who Satan is, and he's going to go to California to campaign. with the rest of his angels. As we close, let me give an example. Let's go back to the CH. Every word is scientifically composed of letters. You have CH on your paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to your Strong's Concordance and put, what's a bit? Go to your concordance and type in BIT. I'm going to go with you. Go to your Strong's Concordance and type in BIT. And what's it takes you to?
The first scripture it gives us is Numbers 21:6, and it's under H5391.
Read it. Read bit. What's a bit? Numbers 21:6 says what? This is a plague for the day.
Okay.
Fiery serpent. Read it.
And I quote, "And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died."
You got it? Fiery serpents, and those fiery serpents are here today. What's the meaning of the fiery serpent? Even figuratively. What is it? To oppress with interest on a loan. That means that deals with the United States government and their debt ceiling with interest on a loan. That means the United States government is borrowing from the minds of my people to make you think that they have money. They're still borrowing from your wisdom, according to Daniel chapter 1. Right? And that means what? The United States government is in trouble. Why? Why? Because they following the CH. The United States government have to submit to the CH of their bit. That is interest on a loan to raise the deficit ceiling, even on Wall Street. So since they have a debt ceiling that they want you to believe that they were able to pass with the votes, but yet it's having interest of a loan on it, and they have their BIT. That comes from BIT.
Yeah.
But they BIT, that BIT must submit to my CH cough. So write that BIT on your paper. BIT. You have it?
Yeah.
And put that CH right next to that T that they must submit to see what kind of people this government is submitting to. Return to their own vomit. Return to their own vomit as a bitch. That's in there too. I'm not making this up. Ooh, he said a bad word. Go to your dictionary and type in BITCH. See if that's a bad word. He used a profanity, y'all, on live stream and on YouTube. I just told you this is night school. If you don't know what a bitch is, but welcome to my night school. We're about to have recess though. I'm not going to detain you. Type in. You got your dictionary? You typed in BITCH.
Yeah. Under the first definition,
what is it?
A female dog.
It's a female dog. A dog returns its own vomit.
Even a wolf, fox, or otter.
A wolf. I told you to beware of sheep in wolf's clothing. There it is right there. That's BIT. See, if you want to follow America, this government, and here they are thinking, I'm conspiring against the United States government. You fool, I don't want none of your government. This planet is mine. We all want your government. It's de facto. It's made up. Your government's made up from my government. All of your laws come from Hammurabi, and Hammurabi stole them from me. All 613 I gave to Moshe. I'm the lawgiver. I am also Shiloh. Go back to your search box in the concordance where you put BIT. Each letter is scientifically composed. Each word is scientifically composed of letters, which you think you're looking at. What you have? You have it? I can't see it. You have BIT. That's all I want, BIT. What do you see? Because my people are following the United States. They're blind. What do you see? That you see a B? That's not a B. Turn it upside down. Put the stick down. It's what you got. Put a P there. Now you're going to turn the stick going down to hell.
Pit.
Going down to the pit of hell. What you have? Click on it. And tell me don't take you one of my book in Matthew, the blind lead the blind. Both shall fall in. What do you have? Pit? Go to the New Testament pit. What's pit?
First place we have it in the New Testament is Matthew 12:11.
Read it. Matthew 12:11. Get your Bibles. Let them read it too.
And I quote, "And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it
Right.
and lift it out?"
Right. Pit.
Pit.
Go to another pit. Find another pit in the New Testament, Old Testament. I know you have it in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Go to the first one. Go to Genesis chapter 37, read verse 20. What's that pit in the meaning?
Genesis 37:20, quote, "Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit."
Yeah. Click on it. What kind of pit is that? Where does it take you?
It's under H 953,
Okay.
which is a pit, a well, a cistern.
Really?
They also have dungeon,
And a dungeon. I mean,
boy prison.
yeah. So you went from bit to pit. You put the stick up, down. Now turn it backwards. No, leave it like that for a while. Go leave it like that for a while. You have PIT?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to put. See, you have a bitch with the B. Now add the CH to that and see if you don't have a pitch. That they got to submit to cuff, the CH. And I guarantee you, pitch is in the Bible. You thought a pitch was something in baseball? Hell no. See, a pitch is in the Bible. Each word is scientifically composed of letters of English symbols.
Wow, we have it 19 times.
And tell me, don't begin with cuff. You mean it's a Mr. Cuff? Read the first one.
We have it in Genesis 6:14. I quote, "Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Room shalt thou make in the ark."
This is for the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of the last days of Noah.
Yeah.
Here we are now, just as it was in the days of Noah. And they're not going to know what hit them until they come at the end. This is what's coming to the end. And it's soon get them. It's going to get them. It's going to get them. You got it?
Yeah.
Now go back to your search box. What you got? Pitch?
Pitch.
That started with a B.
A bit.
Okay, now put the B back there. What you got?
Bitch.
Bitch. That's in the Bible too. Click on it. You're not gonna make me out of a liar. I'm not a liar. I change not. I'm the spirit of truth. I say it is in the Bible. I say bitch is in the Bible. Did you click on it?
Yeah.
How many times?
They have 0 times.
No, hell no. Wow, what you put? That's because you got the B facing you. Turn the B facing the west. Turn the B around facing the west. And now what you got?
Ditch.
Ditch. Now click on that and say, I told you it's in the Bible. Because both will fall in that ditch. All the blind, let the blind lead the blind. So you were blind, you couldn't see the D.
Yeah, that was 6 times.
6 times. Each word is scientifically composed of letters. I took one of their letters. I took B, me, B. I took B, B. After A, follow the series, and now I got you falling in the ditch. I took you from the bitch to the pitch to the ditch to the pit to the bit. That's all of it. Now I'm going to, you got it?
Yeah.
Is in the Bible?
Yeah.
All right. I told, how many times?
6 times.
6 feet tall. 4 cubits. Now go back to your search box and let's close by telling you that me and L and the CH is the king. All right?
Yeah.
What do you have? A clear box? Okay.
Clear.
Clear. Type a capital M-E. That's me. That's part of Mika. Me. Mika.
Mm-hmm.
You have M-E?
Yeah.
Okay. You have M-E. Okay. Type in after that. Type in a capital. You got capital M, lowercase e. Huh?
I got both capital, but now I got capital
And capital M, lowercase e. E, me is God. What's short for God? Elohim?
Yeah.
Space and put E-L. Got it? Now you have me, E-L, because that's what I have as a title. Now type in the C-H. Is king. Do you see it? Click on it and see if it comes up. How many times? How many times? I'm not looking at the screen.
0
Huh?
times. Occurs 0 times.
No, that's not right.
capital.
I said M-E
Mm-hmm.
space. That's me. E-L, short for Elohim,
Mm-hmm.
God. E-L space. And C-H with the Kaf. With the Keth and Kaf. Are from this book. Didn't I say that? By the way, on page 18 of the same book begins 28 appellations. At least 28 appellations of myself, Ma'ab. Ma'ab never called himself Michael. I don't know why the Peace Foundation put in parentheses when they got to Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, and at that time, shall Michael stand up, and they put shall Michael, and they put in parentheses Yahweh ben Yahweh. Can you imagine that? On page 3, we're right back to the CH. Right back to the CH. Of Kaf and Keth. Right? Keth and Kaf. So you have that there? I can't see it. What you have? First do it capital M, lowercase e,
Mm-hmm.
space E-L. That's short for Elohim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Space
Mm-hmm.
C-H.
Yeah.
Right? You clicked on it again? Click on it again because you're not doing something right. It's got to be right if I said it. Click on it again. You got it? So now what's it say?
Occurs 0 times.
Oh, good help is hard to find these days. Good help is hard to find. Okay, I tell you what. Since we're in America now. You're in America. Leave the M-E as it is. Switch the E-L around. Put the L and then the E. Since we're in America, you got to go from left to right.
Mhm.
All right, don't put them together. Just put capital M, lowercase e, capital L, lowercase e, and CH, caps. CH should be cap. Space it. Now click on that and see what we got.
See, it should be capped.
Mhm.
Yeah, it should be cap. CH. That's Kaf.
Mhm.
That's the ruler. Now click on that and see what we got. I know something come up now. I have complete confidence in that.
Mm.
Huh? I see somebody shaking their head.
Say it with spaces or no spaces?
With spaces. With spaces. Now what popped up? Read it to me.
Occurs 0 times.
You said good help is so hard to find. You have capital M, lowercase e, capital L, lowercase e,
Mhm.
all cap CH, spaced. That means there's too much space between us then. We should let nothing come between us. Because I said ME and the LE
Mhm.
and the CH is the king. We got the EL backward now. Okay, let's put them together. Because let's all stay together as one God, one mind, one love, and one action. Let's stay together and let that after the night, don't let nothing come between us on this first day of the 4th month, 6,056. That be Judah. Let nothing else, let no devil take you in the pitch or call you a bitch, right? And put you in the pitch. Not even a little bit. Because that's it. You got it? So put it together and come with me, and let's all be kings together as Judah, the ruler. You put it together, now click on it and see what you got.
We got it 2 times.
2 times. Click on the meaning and tell me if that don't take us to the king. What does it take you to?
King.
The king.
Like,
Me, M-E, and the E-L-L-E, and the C-H is a king, known as Melech in Hebrew. Melech, the king. If you want a copy of this book, again, as we leave you now, you want a copy of this book, what we're asking for, I'm asking for donations. I'm going to only charge you for the donation cost of the print. This book is color. It's purple. There is no other purple book like it in existence. Purple. Why are you still wearing white, Judah? Why are you still wearing white? Don't you know the Cubans are wearing white now? The Spanish? San Domingo, Maria, whatever they get, the religions that they got now, whatever they call it, domino or whatever. Sangria. They drinking wine with the religion. Sangria. Jesus Feliciano. Pedro, oye, como va? With Santana. With Santana. Oye, como va? Everybody with white. If you want a copy of this book, we're asking for, the cost of it is $70. I got 2 today. I have witness that's with me that would tell you I paid over $130 for the 2 books. That was my cost. So I am asking for donations of my cost, and you may need to send another $5 for your shipping cost. As we'll take it to the post office and we'll mail it to your address. But mail your money order, if you want a copy, to the Celestial Lodge of Miami. The Celestial Lodge of Miami, and that's with an S, Celestial Lodge. There's no more C. I fulfill that too, of Revelation 21:1. I fulfill that. There's no more C. So that's the Celestial Lodge of Miami, Post Office Box 472072, Miami of Florida 33247. So pardon me, write to that again. At least $75, we'll send you a copy of that book, and you should read that book from cover to cover. And I'm sure you will not be disappointed.
Mm.
You can see how it all began right here at Miami. With that said, we certainly appreciate you giving us a little bit of your Thursday night tonight. And see, I would say again, I'm not coming on for a while. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to make that mistake, because the next day they'll say, he's a liar. He said that Saturday. Here he is Thursday night. He said he ain't going to be on for a while till the Feast of Tabernacles. Now watch me see him again tomorrow or Saturday. Not this time, you won't. Anyway, I remind you to stay safe and stock up. And those who are living in Florida and in the Gulf of Mexico, all those Gulf states, prepare.
Mm.
Prepare yourselves. Brace yourselves. But I suggest that when those government officials of the city or counties and states tell you to evacuate, Judah, evacuate. Don't be like those who say, well, we're going to ride it out. We've been through so many hurricanes before. Don't be like them white folks that stay. Because next thing you know, you'll be on YouTube in tears saying, I lost everything I had. I tried to get next door and I couldn't make it. I had to stay. I found myself up in a tree. And I thank God that he didn't take me. And somebody say, thank you, Jesus. Well, if you don't know, I'm going to say, well, you're welcome. Praise you. That's all we have for you. Shalom Aleichem.
Alaikum salam.
And that includes YouTube. Same thing, YouTube. And the YouTube feed, as we can find that. Are we still on YouTube? We sure, most certainly are. Still on YouTube. Yep. Nope. I like this. I like the way this is going. I like this.